This chapter we talk about consumer choices. In that case, we must talk about the demand. Actually, we've already learned the demand in the chapter 3, the supply and the demand. First, let me remind you some concept. And from the demand curve, we will start to talk about consumer's choice. So other specialists they talk about they use their theory and their knowledge can tell us why people desire certain goods and service. But the problem is they do not tell us why they are actually purchase it. So now, before I start to talk about, let me ask you a question. What is your dreaming car? I asked this question to many of my friends, and the boys always give me the answer that is Lamborghini. But actually, how many of them have it? To be honest, none of my friends have that kind of car. So yeah, people desire the very luxury car, but it seems like they cannot afford it. So why the people actually purchase certain stuff, certain goods? So after learning the economics, you should know, in order to buy the goods, one must be both willing and able to pay for them. So you have certain desire for the goods, but at the same time, you should have a certain amount of the money to support your desire and to buy it. And also, if you have enough money, but if you don't have desire on that goods, you definitely will not buy it. As for me, I'm thinking if after 10 years I can become like a billionaire, I will not spend money on buying the car, because for me, I think women are more prefer like a luxury bag and the expensive clothes instead of the fancy car. So I don't have that kind of desire. Even I'm able to buy the Lamborghini, I will not spend money on buy that kind of car. So since the willingness and the ability to pay will decide the purchasing behavior, and we can in turn to think about what will affect your ability to buy the goods. Obviously, that's your income. So to summarize here, we know the price and income are just as relevant to consumption decision as our basic desire and preference. So the price will indirectly indicate our desire to buy the goods, and the income will indirectly affect our ability to buy the goods. So the price and income are two signal or two important elements to decide to decide the actual purchase. So talk about the demand. In chapter 3, we mentioned why the demand curve will shift. So we talk about 4 factors determine the individual demand for the product, which is underlying reason why we demand certain goods. So we emphasize 4 factors. One is tastes. So some people like the sweet food. You definitely want to buy more sweet food instead of the bitter food. So the taste is a desire for this and other goods. And the second factor is called income. So we just talk about the income will decide your ability to buy the certain desired goods. The third is expectation. So for instance, now if you are on your senior year and you already got a job offer, even you don't have your income, but you know at the end of this semester you graduate, you will have a job, so you will expect your income will increase. So if your income increase, you definitely will start to purchase more. So obviously, the expectation on income, and price, and the taste will affect the demand curve. And the last factor is other goods, their ability and prices. So for instance, if the Pizza Hut's price goes down, and it goes down, but the Subway's price goes up, and the more consumer will start to buy the Pizza Hut instead of the Subway. So from this example, you can know that other goods will also affect your demand curve. So generally speaking, if you want to know the demand curve increase or shift to the right or shift to the left, you need to ask yourself whether the demand increase or decrease. So if the changing of the factor increase your demand curve will shift to the right. If changing those four factors will decrease your demand, and your demand will shift to the left.